Remember that song, Return of the Mac by Morrison. This time around is the return of an ex-UK Prime Minister, David Cameron, after his own people hurt his feeling by not doing what he pleaded with them to do. Right now, he's back thanks to the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. It's like he's seen the importance of David Cameron. He talked about this economic war. If Britain chooses to leave European Union, is that what we're seeing right now? What is the implication of his return to UK politics? With me here in the studio, he is a lecturer from Uniben, also a clergyman. Join me to welcome Honorable Frank Amigo. Welcome to International Forum. Appreciate your coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. Of course, I have a legal practitioner, political affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Henry Onwozo. Welcome to International Forum.
Viewers at home, thank God for life. We are good to be here again.
All right. 7 years plus and counting. Nobody heard from David Cameron because he occupied the highest position, so to speak, apart from the monarchy system in the UK. Number one man, the Prime Minister, after he fell out, so to speak, in favor with the British populace, he chose to bow out. He said, look, you guys are entering a train I just can't go with. I said we should go this way. You say you're going to that way. So for that reason, let me bow out. That was 7 years ago, and that led to Brexit. The UK right now, Britain, they are on their own, but they've been going through so much turbulence. All of a sudden, bam! Welcome back from our UK Prime Minister David Cameron, and tongues have been wagging. For and of course against, why some people are feeling so indifferent about it. Barrister, let me start off with you. What do you feel about the return of David Cameron to UK politics?
Well, one thing you will understand is that politics in that part of the world is not the same you have in other parts of the world. These persons are known for their character. These persons are known for their doggedness. This person are known for his being active in whatever he has chosen to do. The 57-year-old man has seen it all when it comes to the issue of politics. He has been there, and he believes so much on one nation conservatism. That is, he has remained a member of the Conservative all his lifetime. If you look at his history, you'll be able to play it. But he plays in politics, not that for the fact that he's a member of the Conservative, but he also has this kind of liberal idea in terms of the economy as well as in terms of the social life of the people. You can see at the time he was at the helm of the affairs from 2010 to 2016, he was able to bring in a lot of reforms. Socially, you also have in the welfare scheme, in the education. He also ensured that women have a kind of opportunity of having a large number, having an opportunity to be in the part of the government. These reforms he made at that point in time, he had the opportunity of leading his people. Notwithstanding that at the time he strongly opposed the idea of leaving the Brexit. But because at that point in time, the people too, they have their own way of doing their things. And automatically, at the end of the day, the man decided to throw in the towel. But one thing you will not take away from him is that for the fact that he has left the office, he has not left completely in the sense that he has been a strong member of the Conservative. And for a politician who all his lifetime has played that role, apart from the short spell he had with Carlton Communication in 1994, he has always been there playing the role as a politician, as a member of the Conservative. Your job, as it were, as a member of a particular political party, is to talk about ideas on how to better the life of your people. Quite unlike you find in other parts of the world where the politicians, they are either white or black. But the man has remained, and his ideas, he has always wanted to put his ideas and find the opportunity. And now it's the opportunity which has been given to him by the Prime Minister Sunak. As, okay, you come back. Take charge of the foreign affairs as well as the Commonwealth, as well as the development section of the people. And I know of a truth that he will be able to do that, which he could not complete at that time he had the opportunity to do it. He will be able to further more on that.
All right, I will come back to you, Barrister. Honorable, you heard him give us a foundation to this particular discussion. David Cameron is back. Take it or leave it. The Secretary of Foreign Affairs, he said right now, I have one job. He chose to cut out with his business, philanthropic disposition, and he said he's going to focus on this assignment given to him. It's just not to say whether one can just term it as twice bitten, once shy, because he gave an advice to UK citizens not to leave EU. They disobeyed him. In that anguish, though it came as a surprise to many of his party members, he resigned. And this is where they are right now. Take it up from there.
Yes, he resigned in 2016 after they conducted a referendum, and it was 48-52%, and he lost out. As a prime minister then, he shouldn't have been so surprised. And I should have expected him to resign, because the Brexit issue wasn't a thing that has taken place before, such that we're going to learn a lesson, we're going to draw inspiration from somewhere. So those are voted against, they did that to the best of their knowledge. And you would have expected the reverse of the case, because nobody has ever had the experience. If that issue comes up again, I'm sure there'll be a reversal of the vote. However, we're expecting, like Sunak just wanted his administration to be resuscitated and maybe regalvanized to create room for election that will take place next year over there. And there was a cabinet shake-up. Some persons were retained, whilst others are to leave. So what I'm seeing in the life of David Cameron is not just to come there to do what they didn't allow him to do. I'm seeing it beyond there, because from the disposition of David Cameron, it's as if he's completely in solidarity with Israel. So I'm sure he has a major role to play other than things about UK, because of his relationship with former presidents or heads of state or prime ministers. And the present administration of UK would have been short of knowledge. I'm sure that was why they brought him in. So he has so much to do. Also, he likes public service. Just like one of the cowboy actors years ago, during one of the Grammy Awards, that was Clint Eastwood. He said three things in one. Like, he liked acting. Number two, people liked to watch his films. And number three, he got paid for it. So I think that's the essence of whatever job one is doing. David Cameron says he's interested in public service. And after he exited office in 2016, in 2018 it was reported that what is happening now was what, in quote, Professor predicted that he will likely come back into public service again. And now that he's back, I'm seeing it beyond the UK experience. He's going to have more of global work to do. No wonder he's the foreign secretary. And with that, a lot of things to be put in their proper perspectives. Before now, even now, we have known that UK will ever support US. And now that US is supporting Israel, David Cameron has been in solidarity with Israel all the years. So it is beyond the UK politics. Is trying to galvanize a platform whereby UK will become relevant to the global society. I think David Cameron has so much work to do in this direction.
Oh, well, has so much work to do in this direction. People like saying that the reason why there was a cabinet reshuffle instituted by the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, is because the party right now is losing its popularity. How true is that?
Exactly. That is one of the reasons. And, you know, in politics, you will always bring in somebody who has the capacity and who has the courage and the tenacity to do things and will be supported by a large majority of persons. He has been a man who has done so much for the Conservative Party. And he has been a man who has always wished that the Conservative Party, he has always had this idea of one nation conservatism. That is Britain, as it were. He has also gone to the extent of trying to liberalize certain things in terms of the economy, in terms of the social life of the people. Not standing strongly in the conservative nature as he used to be, but he has done so well. And again, you also find out that in his time, he was able to, the law on the same-sex marriage was there. And, you know, these are some of the things the people actually, you know, are looking at. And a man who has played that role is ensuring that you have the same-sex marriage and all whatnot.
But many Africans are against that rule.
Yeah,
they say we don't want it, we don't like it.
Surely, because it is not part of our culture. That is the truth. It's not part of our culture. You also look at it that the minority ethnic groups in UK too are also in his
against
time.
it, yes.
Yes, we are giving time, you know, we are giving an opportunity. Females too, we are equally given an opportunity. Such a man who plays such role, you look at their welfare act, the social act and over, the healthcare, he was able to galvanize it. You know, give a lot of opportunities, you know, for the people, you know, to have that which will make their life more better than as it were before now. So such a man who has been able to, excluding that issue of the basic exit, there was nothing in his administration. He was able to handle the national deficit of the United Kingdom to the extent that the economy was a little bit stabilized. Looking at the issue of during the austerity measures and all what, he was able to manage the affair. So such a man, you know, who has played such role at a point in time. And they are looking at it again too. A man who has been the prime minister, because this is the second time in the history of United Kingdom. The first one was in 1970, where a prime minister will not come back and become a minister. You can't find it in any other part of the world. Not even here. A man who has been a governor.
Is that occupying the number one seat and coming back again to
you will find it. But again, you look at the issue of capacity, what the person can do. And the person who has, because in life generally, you must first of all tell yourself that whatever thing I'm doing it because it is what I love doing. And I do this thing for the betterment of my people. And you work towards it. So politics in those parts of the world, it's not like here, where it is a do or die affair, or where it's because the winner takes it all. A man has held such position and has decided to come back for a second time to rescue his own nation because of the love he has for the nation. But one thing, you must have love for your place to enable you to do things that are not ordinary.
Ordinary, okay. Can one deduce that Sunak has failed UK because he made a promise that if I become the prime minister, I can fix this economy. I can make it blossom again. I can make it work. Don't forget what made the other prime minister to resign. She couldn't do it. She couldn't fix it, and she resigned. And Sunak came up. And right now, they're still undergoing the same situation, if not worse. Is it a failure on the part of Sunak, or this is all political?
Yes, one cannot right now deduce that Sunak has failed. Sunak is playing a role of a smart leader. It's just like somebody brings a patient to your clinic, and after the diagnosis, you now observe that this case is beyond your area of specialization. What you now do is you do a referral. You refer that patient to the right specialist. So what Sunak did, he knew that he would have failed if he had not taken these bold steps, this cabinet shakeup. So one can no longer say that he has failed. For David Cameron to come on board now is to bring back the lost glories. All the hate speeches that would have made is expected, just as Barrister said, for someone to humble himself. Let's say in Nigeria, a former president becoming a minister. Pride will not allow us to do that. For David Cameron to come, I'm sure that what happened yesterday in UK didn't just happen that same day. The Prime Minister would have been discussing with David Cameron over days, months, if not years, to see as to how the economy or the people of UK will have a sigh of relief. So going by that, I will praise the efforts of Sunak for knowing what to do at the very last time, knowing fully well that next year is an election year. So for him to rescue his image, nobody's going to give the glory to David Cameron if UK bounces back. it goes, the shame of glory goes to the immediate leader for you to be able to bring in the right set of persons. Just like a football coach. The game is almost up, 90-minute game is 85 minutes, and you are 2 goals down. And if you lost 2-0, it means the coach didn't do much work. And now that same coach, now to do some reshuffling, brought in some key players, and the game went on. And at the 90th minute, they equalized, penalty shootout, and the team won. So the glory still go back to the coach. So the coach in this case is Sunak. He knows very well the areas where there are gaps. So what he's trying to do is to fill up those gaps. So some persons may not know the pains of the prime minister. That's why we're having some persons opposing the moves he has made. He's right there. He wears the shoes, and he knows where it pinches. So that's why he had to make all these changes. The former foreign secretary wasn't happy. The woman, a lot of persons...
She wasn't expecting it.
Blamed her for the comments she made. Even on newspapers, the comments she made. And so the personality of the prime minister, that one is gone. Let's quickly replace this woman before more damage is done. Because what was done by that public discussion that later ended up on the page of newspapers will further drag holes into the burst pipes. The economy will further go down, and the people of UK will not find things so easy. So what he has done now is to put in the right person at the very last right time. And this is the last chance he has. Before you know it, the year is going to be over, and next year, election year.
All right, we'll be right back after this break. Don't go. It's all about the return of former UK Prime Minister David Cameron, the impact on UK politics. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is International Forum. We're taking a look at the return of former UK Prime Minister David Cameron into Rishi Sunak's cabinet. And of course, it has been greeted with so many reactions, some favorable, others not so favorable, while some are just indifferent about all the situation. Now let's take a look at the question I threw at him, if it's political or if Rishi Sunak, from a promise he made to UK citizens that he can fix the economy. Right now, the economy is like still nose diving. I mean, so from these two angles, which do you think is which? Or politics, or really to revamp the economy?
Well, if you look at it critically, you want to look at it from both sides. But the truth still remains. If the economy is good, when the next year election that is coming, the Conservative can have a major win, as it were. So the man at the same time is calculating. The man he's bringing in has seen it all, as it were. And the man has been able to contribute immensely in ensuring that the economy, as well as the social life of the people of Britain, at the time he had the opportunity from 2010 to 2016, was a little bit stable. And he has also seen that those economic and social reforms that the man did at that point in time has remained intact. So what do? You look for a man who has what it takes to ensure that you get to where you are going to. Politics in those parts of the world is not the same you have here. When you are talking about the man from my village, nobody is interested. You are talking about the man, oh, he's the member of my party. No, you are looking at somebody who has the capacity. Look for a square peg in a square hole. You don't look for somebody because somebody has recommended him that this man can do it. And again, it takes a man who has that will to rescue his people, as it were, for somebody like David Cameron to take the position of the Foreign Secretary, as it were. And for the fact that the election is coming next year, you must be able to stabilize the economy to enable your party, the Conservative, have an edge over the Liberal Democrats. Because everybody wants to take up the government. You remember that...
So it's all political right now, our economy?
Yes. Yes. And at the same time, because the two goes together. There's no way you can divorce the political aspect of it from the economic aspect of it. Because if the economy is good, that is when your administration has done well. We are complaining in this part of the world today that you are buying fuel almost 700 naira. It's because everybody is shouting, oh, the economy is bad. Oh, this government is not doing well as it were. There's nothing you are going to tell my mother in the village that we understand that the government in place, like in this part of the world, is doing well. Because she knows definitely that a bag of rice now is 60-something thousand, which she used to buy maybe 7,000 or 8,000 as it were in the past. So it's the same thing you find in Britain. So Sunak is looking for a man who will help him to revamp the economy and at the same time make the Conservative Party to remain relevant. Because if at the end of the day and the election comes by next year and the economy continues to lose that, automatically the Conservative Party will lose the election as it were. It will end up not having, they're losing woefully because people are tired. You find out also that in that part of the world, you have this social security, you have this welfare schemes and other things that the people benefit from. But when the people can no longer get them, just as we here are not getting anything as it were, we are naked as it were now.
No, we are not naked, please. We are clothed, but not naked.
As we are here in this part of the world now, compared to those there, they will not bear what we are bearing here.
True.
They cannot. There will be high rate of suicide and others in that part of the world if they pass through what we are passing through for now. But we, for the fact that we are used to it, because God has created us specially, quite from every other African or every European or American. Nigerians are a special breed, created by God himself. On a day, he never created any other person. That is why you find us that whatever we pass through as a people, we bear. So Sunak is looking at it from that angle. From 2024, it will no longer be business as usual. He would have lost woefully in the election. That is the truth. And for him to succeed, he has calculated. He has sat down and looked at the man who has done these wonders at the point in time. The man is still ready to serve. He has approached the man. These are the things we need in this part of the world. Look for men who have the capacity. Look for men who have the will, the people who have the courage to bring a change to a society. When you bring them in, the society will be better for it. But when you decide that you play politics with everything, at the end of the day, you remain where you are. And when it is time to change the
narrative, yes,
it becomes difficult.
All right. Now let's take a look at Cameron, the way he left Britain. Do you think many people will be in tune with the Conservative Party? Because some of them are saying when he left, he took it unaware. Some even branded him as a traitor. Because according to them, they're fighting for a common cause, their own freedom from the EU. Take it from that angle.
Yeah, what David Cameron did was for the interest of the nation of UK. Barrister, sir, there are still some good Nigerians.
No, we are not denying that fact. We are not denying that fact.
On a different day.
No, it's a different day. If not, my brother, if God has not created us on a different day from other people, we cannot. You can imagine what we are passing through.
All right, just
for the residents of Nigerians. It will interest you to know, if I want to remind you that the present FCT minister is not the same political party with the Nigerian president. So something good can still come up with time.
No, we are not denying that.
Yes, good. So what David Cameron did, it wasn't self-centered.
That was 2016.
Yeah, it wasn't self-centered. He wanted a good UK. Let's also all of us live together. At one time or the other, people were not happy with the system. Okay, let Britain exit. He said no. If we exit, a lot of things will go wrong. Because of the immediate pain you are faced with, you're just saying exiting is the best thing. Just like at a time in life you have an injury, maybe under your fingers, you would prefer they should chop it off. As they did to Ibu's leg now. You prefer they chop it off, but if you can resist a bit, feel the pains, and before you know it, it heals up. They will not come back, thank God my finger wasn't cut off. But now UK is saying, if we had really actually known that it would bounce against us like this, would have remained. So what David Cameron has done, he might have some opposition. It's like that, he's human. So, but all in all, what he did was not anti-party, was not against the people, always working for the good of the people. And for him to make up his mind, even now, yesterday, that he will want to be in this cabinet, that's the highest level of leadership humility. There's no former president of this country right now that will accept a ministerial position. There's no president, even a governor, coming to become a commissioner under another governor. It is not possible. So they should just leave David Cameron alone. He became prime minister at the age of 43. And at that age, he could see things clearly. Now he's 57. So now UK has woken up to the realization that the missing link in the UK, whether things will get better or not, the missing link all these years has been David Cameron. If you're going to take a census of those that like is coming back against those that don't like is coming back, it will be overwhelmingly obvious that more than a large majority will be happy that he's back. A lot of things is said, he projected them, are now faced with them, and they are seeing the reality of it. So no party should get angry, no member of, the party, of any party should get angry. They should accept the goodwill of David Cameron towards a better UK.
Towards a better UK. Now, can one now predict that in the forthcoming election, it's going to be a landslide for the Conservatives in the UK?
Well, it might not be completely a landslide victory. But one thing is sure, is that when you bring in people who have the capacity, you have people who have the interest of the people as well. Because what matters most is, what has this person been able to do for the betterment of his people? What has it done to change the narrative as it used to be? Because you'll find out that these are people who have remained in their party. It's not like here, I wake up in the morning, I am a member of AA. I sleep in the afternoon, I am a member of CC. I wake up in the evening, I am a member of DD. Automatically, you have no ideology. Parties in that part of the world, you are looking at ideologies. You are not looking at individuals per se, as it were. What ideology do you people have? What do you are bringing to the table for the people to understand that this is how we are going? You are talking about institutions, not individuals. Though the individuals might come in because the individual are the one to pilot the policies, as it were. The man, at the time he came, had ideas. These ideas are for a better tomorrow.
The ideas were thwarted by what happened, Brexit.
Yes. And
he chose to opt out.
Yes, he opted out because he's a man of principle. He opted out because he never wanted... You remember there was a political instability in UK at that point in time. And the best thing for a reasonable man who has seen it all, because he has remained, he was a member of the Conservative Research Department for a very long time. So he has been there all this while. You see, one thing I discovered in those parts of the world is that the political parties are like an institution. They are like an institution where people go, people work there, they are paid salaries. People work there in different departments, trying to create ideas that, oh, by the time our government comes into office, these and these are what we are going to do. And these ideas are what they are going to sell to the electorate. It's not here when somebody is telling me, I am going to give you road in 21st century. You begin to ask yourself, can we be talking about road in this part of the world at this time? Somebody will be telling you, oh, I am going to give you pipe-borne water. Or, oh, at the end of the day, somebody is sharing rice, sharing onions, sharing salt, and somebody is celebrating and dancing. You begin to ask, what has gone wrong with us as a people? But in that part of the world, nobody is going to... David Cameron, the Conservatives are not going to talk about what they are going to give to people as individuals. But they are going to talk about what are they going to do to make the economy better for the people. What are they going to do to make the social life of the people better? What are they going to do to make the welfare of the people better? All right. What are they going to do to ensure that the healthcare system works for the benefit of you? The educational system how it is going to work for the benefit of the people. These are the areas they are going to look at.
Okay.
Not the gari they are going to give to people or the rice they are going to give to people.
Food is food. Don't forget, for a hungry man, food is food. Like gari, rice, salt. They have to take it in to survive. Anyway, if you take a look at Cameron right now, he was made, or he's been made, the Secretary of Foreign Affairs, talking about foreign policy. Now, do you see him reaching out to the EU for help? Where a normal or average UK politician will not there. Don't forget that some privileges was taken away from UK because of Brexit. This is being able to build that bridge. Just the fact that they are not with the EU, they can still gain something from the EU.
I'm sure David Cameron will not waste time getting help from wherever help is, because the OSNs is not going to create more troubles. Even a former enemy that we are not reunited, are not friends, because he's asking for something. There was a thing I read some years ago, that the man that chose to die, yeah, it's very pathetic. He and one other man fought years back. They all parted ways. Then after a long while, this man was now very sick and was hospitalized. And he needed a pint of blood. And the only place they could get the pint of blood, they saw one man that could donate. They checked his blood group, they did a cross-matching, and it agreed. And the man that was now very sick needed a pint of blood. So this man that donated said his blood group is rare, so he wants to donate 2 pints in case an extra is needed. And the blood was collected, given to this man in the hospital as he was recovering. He now asked, who was this person that you got the blood from? He now said, no, at that time I had not taken the blood. They needed to know, to thank him personally. So the donor now came to the hospital to see the patient. And now, the patient now discovered that this was the man he fought with so many years ago. That if it's his own blood that will need to survive, I prefer to die.
Wow.
So
interesting.
They chose to die. That wouldn't be the case of David Cameron. He can go to EU, he can go anywhere. Because it has a global impact. Whatever to take to revamp the economy, the social life of UK, he will do it. And once social life, everything is stabilized, politics becomes easy. Because you cannot campaign to people that are hungry, people that can't go to school, they can't access health care facilities. So the first and the best thing to do now is to make sure the economy is okay. All that it will take to bring back the old UK. David Cameron, I'm sure he will be all out to engage that.
All right, now can one deduce that there's going to be this sweet romance between the UK and, of course, the EU since David Cameron is in the picture?
Yes, you see, sometimes the man who holds your foreign affairs sometimes determine your relationship with other parts of the world. If you decide to bring in a man who sees everything in the other parts of the world as wrong, automatically you are going to face a challenge. But this is a man who has, at the time he was at the helm of the affairs, for that years, 2010 to 2016, he has played that politics all over the world. He has visited those countries, as it were. He has had interactions with their leaders at that time they were in office. He knows the economies of these countries, and he will want to cement a relationship with them to further make life meaningful and better for the people of the United Kingdom. And that is the primary purpose of every politician who has the interests of his people at heart. You must look at what will my people benefit, because that is what he's going there to do. The man is not talking about what he's going to benefit as an individual. He's not talking about he's going to buy a Jeep of 160 million naira, which he wants to drive in the
Come
sky.
on, but that is below the belt. Barrister, that is below the belt.
The man there want to see how the people of Britain, their healthcare system will work. He want to see how the educational system will work. He want to see how the social and the economy of the country will work. That is what the interest of the man is. The man is not interested in any other thing that will be for his own personal agenda, or those members of his party who is going to give one contract, and at the end of the day, they will not execute the contract, and it will be written off as a bad debt, because he cannot challenge that. He needs to come back another 4 years again, or maybe another 2 years, depending. So you find out that in this part of the man has chosen a path that will bring glory to his people. Already his glory, he has taken his own share. But at the time he had the opportunity as the prime minister, there's nothing he's going to look for again. But how will Britain survive? How will the economy be better? And how will the educational system be better? How will the welfare of the people be better? Because these are countries where the people depend on, when you pay tax, the government will see the essence of the tax. Day in, day out, in this part of the world, people are beating people along the road, collecting money, putting in their private pockets. And at the end of the day, the same road you collected money, you will not do the road. The question there is, where are we going from? What policies are we going to make? Because sometimes I ask one question. These people, in this part of the world, they travel abroad. What did you see there that is quite different from what you see here? But they are not different. It's the same human beings. But the only difference is that we here, we have a very strong shock absorber that makes us to absorb everything. Even if whatever you do to us, we absorb. Today, somebody said we should go on strike. The question I asked, why did the person wait until there was election in a particular crime? He now decided to go there to do. And the same person has told the world that he's a member of a political party. The question then there is, the man on the other side of the political party will feel that you have come to create more problem for him as it were. So, but nobody is saying anybody has done anything right. But the question, can we continue to suffer? Because for the fact that I don't hear, even in Britain, even if they go on strike, they will go on strike on issues that affects the people as a whole, on issues that borders on the welfare of the people. Not here in this part of the world. I am going on strike today because somebody somewhere had an issue somewhere, and somebody said we should not do anything. Go to the filling station, Nigerians are suffering. Go to the markets, Nigerians are suffering. When I say Nigerians are suffering, I'm telling you that now we are suffering because our leaders have left issues they are addressing audience. Because the issues of what we are passing through should be looked at as a people. And that is what the camera want to look at in Britain. That is why they brought him in. Here we can also do the same. We have Nigerians in other parts of the world who are doing beautifully well in any part of the world. Bring a Nigerian in any part of the world, go and bring those who are doing well. Bring them home, give them a enabling environment. Let them revamp this economy as it were. Nigeria will become an Eldorado.
All right.
Where Jason Wike is in Abuja. Because the man knew, the man performed wonders in Rivers. He wanted to perform wonders in Abuja. And that is why the man is there.
And some are saying it's also political.
Politics
with the economy. All right, now talking about the UK right now, which we are really, really in tune. Although it's good to draw analogy with countries and all that. Now, do you see Sunak being able to serve, David Cameron to be able to serve as the shock absorber for the UK in international relations? Don't forget that Ukraine, Russia, that's still going on with their war. The basketball hasn't stopped. Take a look at Israel and Gaza. You know the story. So take a look at Africa as a continent. Also, things are not so much well with the continent. How do you think this man, Cameron, can really affect changes via his policies as the Secretary of Foreign Affairs in the UK?
Yeah, when David Cameron, 2010 to 2016, was saying something, it was interjected, and the interjection is over now. It's a case of David Cameron saying, as I was saying. So what he was saying around 2016, now he's going to continue with it. So I have every hope that, as he was saying, he's been given the platform to make that statement. And the platform has been given to him, and he will perform. It's not like in some other countries, maybe in Nigeria, they will bring you in and give you a script to act out. I'm sure for Sunak to bring in David Cameron and for him to even agree to handle this position, a lot of things would have been ironed out. I'm going to come in to continue from where I stopped, or your script those issues would have been settled by now. So if those issues are the issues you're going to attend to, I'm very optimistic that whatever thing we have ever expected, as we have asked now, David Cameron will be able to do it. In Nigeria, barristers, I'm a unionist. The strike that started today is issue-based.
Honorable.
It's issue-based.
We don't want to go into the UK right now.
It's issue-based. So, if as they have brought in David Cameron, for instance,
yes,
and some persons decide to beat him up as they did to the NSA president.
Here we go.
Then what are we going to do? They are more civilized there.
Do you think they'll go on strike?
They'll go on strike. They'll go on strike.
For Nigerians that are passing
president went to settle some issues.
Who did he find when he was coming?
Gentlemen, back to UK, please.
Yes. Back to UK, in Nigeria. So, David Cameron will do exactly as he wanted
to do before he resigned.
And I'm sure he would have tabled everything before the Prime Minister. These are the things I wanted to do. And these were the clauses I put in place. If we do that, that will happen. If we don't do it, this one will happen. Oh, we have been faced with the reality now. Please come and do it. So would you allow me to do it as I wanted? All of these issues will have been settled. I'm sure that was what paved the way for David Cameron yesterday in UK to say I've accepted this position. So whatever fears,
that is free hands to work.
Yes, whatever fears we have now, there will be no basis for it, because he has a script and he knows exactly what to do to make UK, within UK to be okay, between UK to be in good relationship with other countries of the world. I'm sure that's why they gave him that foreign secretary position.
All right. We can just go on and on right now, but I'm getting a strong signal our time is up. 30 seconds each. What advice do you have for the Conservative Party? Rishi Sunak, David Cameron, and of course Nigerians here watching the train in the UK. Briefly.
My position has always been, when you put a square peg in a square hole, definitely you are going to get a good result. You must have institutions, not individuals. Once you have a strong institution that is well funded on the policies that will bring a better life for the people, educationally, health-wise, economically, socially, at the end of the day, when you come out, that you have ideas that you are going into politics,
thank you.
Will be ready to listen to you.
Thank you so much, Barrister. Honorable, briefly, 30 seconds.
Yes, or less. So the point is, in leadership, you consider more of the people than politics. Once you give leverage to more of the people-oriented activities, I'm sure we'll have a better world to live in.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. David Sunak, the second person to have done it in UK, to be number one man to come back again to serve as a minister in Sunak's government. Can he do it? He felt bad, he felt betrayed, he felt stabbed by British citizens because they refused to remain with EU. Right now he's back. Is it a missing link to that development economy Sunak has been working on to achieve an Eldorado for the UK citizens? Only time definitely will tell. We'll keep watching. Also to report back to you on International Forum.